Chapter 451, The Mystery Man. Club Excellent Era. The director hadn't gathered every team member, but Sun Xiang and Lu Hao as well as the crowd members who were revealed couldn't escape. When they entered the meeting room, they saw how dark the director's expression was. It looked as if it were dripping with malice. After they sat down, one of the team members asked in a meek voice, "What happened?" The director threw the newspaper he had picked up that morning at him. Some of them had seen the news. Some of them hadn't seen it yet. The person who had asked the question was called Guo Yang and was a part of Team Excellent Era's main roster. He played a Chi master named Chi Breaker. Yesterday night, he had been a part of the group chat and had followed along with everyone else to see the show. Today, his name had been revealed in the news, but he himself didn't know what had happened. The director was absolutely furious and glared viciously at Guo Yang. In the esports newspaper, there were 4 pages besides the lead story with details, analysis, comments, and a whole bunch of screenshots. It was quite impressive that they had been able to write and print out everything that had happened just last night so quickly. What were all of you thinking? Our hated enemy isn't popular enough right now, so you have to run over and give him advertisement? Am I right? The director began shouting at them. Even though he was only facing the few in front of him, he also cursed at the pro players from other clubs who had been exposed as well. At Excellent Era, there were 4 people who had went to watch the show. Sun Xiang, Lu Hao, He Ming. They had went to watch because they cared a lot about the strength of Yichu's unspecialized. As for Guo Yang, he was there more as a cheerleader and now, he had attracted the director's aggro. Who made him go in and act like he didn't know what was going on? As an old veteran in the pro scene, he had experienced the directors shouting many times, especially this season. Their record was poor. Everyone had seen the director like this before. Only Sun Xiang hadn't. In the past, when he was in Team Over the Clouds, he was considered a jewel. When he came over to Excellent Era, he sat as their ace player. It was his first time in the pro scene being yelled at like this. His expression immediately turned uglier. Cough, Lu Hao cleared his throat as if he were about to say something, when someone knocked on the door. The director turned his head and roared, "Enter." An employee scurried in. "Director, there are reporters outside who want to interview a few players." "What do we do?" News stations which specially covered esports often had reporters living in cities with clubs. Yesterday night, they had been busy writing, so now they were here to conduct post-interviews in the morning. The director had clearly expected this to happen. He waved his hands, "Have them wait a bit." Okay. The employee left. The director turned his head back and stared at Lu Hao. "What did you want to say?" "I don't think this is a random accident." Lu Hao looked at the newspaper. "Even though we got a lot of attention when we showed up online, after entering the arena, no one knew which room we had went into. Even if they bumped into it through trial and error, the room had a password. How could someone break in? Moreover, from this report, it couldn't have been some random person who had chanced upon the room. The intruder had clearly come in with a goal. This was the work of someone's scheme. We've all been used. Who needs you to say something so obvious? The director barked. We hadn't thought of this at that time, Lu Hao said helplessly. With things having come to this, there's no use in talking about it, the director said. I looked at the news and it seems like Yichu's identity hasn't been revealed. This, Lu Hao hesitated because there was no way he could remember every single detail from last night. Everyone at the scene knew that Lord Grimm was Yichu, so there was no need for them to mention it when they talked amongst themselves. Did anyone expose Lord Grimm's identity in the chat? He didn't think so. This may be why the news didn't reveal Lord Grimm's identity and described him as a mystery man. But even if he was a mystery man, people would definitely try to guess. As a result, these guesses would be the main topic for today. But it didn't seem like the mystery man would be much a mystery. With the rumors of Yichu planning on creating a team, most people would guess the mystery man was Yichu. The few people would question this would be because of one issue. If he were Yichu, it hadn't been long since he had retired, so why would he create such an uproar and announce that he would come back? Wasn't he a bit too quick in regretting his retirement? These types of disbelievers also didn't believe the rumors that Yichu was planning on creating a team. Speaking of this, the rumors of Yi Chu's return was only an inference made in the All-Star weekend, when a battle mage had come out and showed a dragon raises its head. It wasn't 100% proof that person was Yi Chu. I remember. I think when Huang Shaoxin shouted for a match, he mentioned Yi Chu's name. At this moment, Guoyang suddenly said. Lu Hao recalled, and it seemed to be true. At that time, after Huang Shaoxin defeated an opponent, Yi Chu's Lord Grimm still hadn't come down, so he shouted Yi Chu's name in the public chat. If this had truly been an intentional leak, then such a detail shouldn't have been missed. Yi Chu's name would also create a huge uproar. All of the clubs knew that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu, but why did no one announce it to the public? It was because they didn't want to help him cement this identity. Right now, Yi Chu was one of their competitors. By utilizing the popularity from his identity, a lot of things would become easier for him. This was why they hoped to see Yi Chu just die away like a nameless soldier. Because he had never revealed himself to the public in the past, it wouldn't be easy for him to prove his identity. For Excellent Era, especially their guild Excellent Dynasty, they were extremely nervous of Yi Chu's identity being revealed. The revelation would certainly have a huge negative impact on Excellent Dynasty. The guild had old members that had been in the guild for more than 5 years, and many of them were fans of Yi Chu. If his identity really was revealed by an official and trusted source, it wouldn't be possible for Excellent Dynasty to go against Yi Chu. The other guilds even needed to help block this bullet. Otherwise, if Excellent Era didn't care about their image and popularity and would rather discard everything to be criticized. This was why Excellent Era was so worried about this. The other clubs were also quite angry that their players would help advertise him and raise their enemies' popularity. Lulan/'s team had been quite popular from the start. Afterwards, their advertising had only attracted more and more eyes, making everyone look forward to them. They felt like they would be a strong team that would rock the alliance. Now, Lord Grimm had caused another huge sensation, proving their strength again. Even though the headlines wrote that the pro players had attacked Lord Grimm was already bound with a team. Lulan/'s team would have Lord Grimm as the team's ace player and spokesperson. If Lord Grimm was so strong, didn't that mean the team he was in would be strong too? And how strong was Lord Grimm? From the detailed report of the fight, it described how he defeated Huang Shaoxin. Huang Shaoxin? Who was that? To beat him, even if it was in the fixed field, would mean he's an absolutely amazing expert, no? Who exactly is he? Who is he? Who is he? The newspaper invited many famous glory commentators, hosts, and other professionals to give their opinion. 80% of them suspected that he was Yi Chu. Professionals were professionals. All of them knew what type of fundamentals was necessary to play a class like an unspecialized. Yi Chu was without a doubt the most suitable to play one. To the clubs, Yi Chu being revealed would also make their popularity go up another level. They weren't like Excellent Era who had so many worries. This was also one of the reasons Excellent Era's director was so anxious. These clubs would certainly be interviewed. If any one of them nodded their heads to the media, the guesses that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu would be 100% confirmed. Director, should we contact the other clubs and probe their stances, so we can make preparations? Lu Hao was an expert at currying favor. He had thought of these issues and had come up with a suggestion. The so-called stances were pointing to the other club's stances towards how they would reply to the Lord Grimm question. Who Lord Grimm is and why the pro players swarmed over to fight with him would certainly be questions that would be asked by the reporters. Excellent Era's director thought about this suggestion and was just about to grab the phone, when Wang Sheng from their public relations department suddenly spoke. I don't think there's any need to do that. If this was something that had been planned, then there's no way they would miss the fact that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu. No, Wang Sheng continued, in my opinion, revealing information step by step and escalating the speculation around Lord Grimm would be a good tactic. They wouldn't reveal everything all at once, but rather a bit at a time, revealing important details slowly. Lord Grimm is Yi Chu. We won't say it, but it'll be revealed sooner or later. If we say it, we can at least take the initiative, but if we wait for them to say it, we'll have absolutely no control of the situation. When Wang Sheng said this, Chen Yihui began to grow anxious. No matter the case, he didn't want Yi Chu's identity to be revealed. Not just in the future, but even now, if the guild players knew that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu, their excellent dynasty would have a huge wave of deserters. I can't agree with that. If Yi Chu identity is revealed, the guild will go into chaos, Chen Yahui hastily said. Ha ha, this will depend on how we word the statement. Don't worry Chen, we'll make sure to consider this when we do it, Wang Sheng laughed. Their public relations department was responsible for their club's marketing. Guild-related issues would always be put into consideration. Oh, what do you plan on saying? The director asked. Even though the wording for the statement would be Wang Sheng's responsibility, the director still needed to know the general picture. Chapter 452, Counterattack with the Truth. D** Minnesota. Excellent era is too shameless. In the end, the newspaper reports didn't cover all of the information. That evening, several more reports came out with more details from the numerous pro players interviewed that morning. The program couldn't show every single conversation from each pro player. The spotlight would be on the gods, of course. With a single exception, as if they had agreed upon it, all of the guilds directly confessed that they had ran over to watch because they suspected that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu. However, none of them said it in a completely certain tone of voice. Probably? Playing an unspecialized requires knowledge and proficiency with every class. From what I saw from Lord Grimm's performance, Yi Chu is without a doubt the number one suspect. This was what Team Tiny Herb's Wang Jiexi replied with. An unspecialized is a class that cannot be controlled by a single person. But to be able to control one to such a degree, I believe that Yi Chu is certainly capable of doing so. This was Team Wang Jiexi's answer. Probably Yi Chu, because he's very strong, Samsara's Zhou Zakai. At that time, all of the gods were present. To be able to fight with me to that extent, by using a process of elimination, he would be Yi Chu. This was Huang Shaoshan's reply. He was the person who everyone wanted to interview. He was the one who directly fought with him. What about Zhang Jiali? The reporters asked about a god, who had also retired. Zhang Jiali. I called him before. He said he wasn't him, Huang Shaoshan said in a serious tone. He had clearly known that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu long before this, but right now, he looked as if he had only figured it out after fighting him. Then what are your thoughts on the match? The reporter asked. I lost. But as a pro player, losing is a very common occurrence, even more so against an opponent like Yi Chu. More importantly, this match let me see all sorts of different things. Those who haven't played the game since the beginning probably don't even know that there is such a thing as an unspecialized playstyle, yet now one appears in front of us. I don't know if you guys saw the match recording carefully or not. Ah, that's right. Do you guys have a recording of it? If you want one, I have one. I can go get one for you guys real quick, if you want. Huang Shaoshan spoke frankly with the interviewers. They didn't even need to try and dig deeper and they already had so much content to work with, perhaps even too much content. They didn't know if the space given to them was enough to write it all down. It seemed like they would need to pick out the important words from all of the other excess. The reporters were always happy to interview Huang Shaoshan. Apart from Huang Shaoshan, the other people they needed to interview was of course, Excellent Era. For Excellent Era, Yi Chu would always be a topic that would never go away. As long as they were in the glory scene, Yi Chu and Excellent Era would always be connected with each other. Every player was asked why they went to watch the match. Sun Shang, Lu Hao, and the others who watched it said the same as everyone else. They expressed their suspicions that he was Yi Chu, which was why they had went over to look. Afterwards, when they got to the special relationship between Yi Chu and Excellent Era, Wang Sheng gave a statement. First, he said how Yi Chu had still wanted to develop in the glory scene and how he was very perplexed that Yi Chu would choose to retire. Next, he also talked about Lord Grimm's identity as Yi Chu and how he couldn't understand some of his actions in the 10th server, especially the conflicts with Guild Excellent Dynasty. After that, he mentioned Lord Grimm's recent addition to Lulan/'s Guild Heavenly Justice. Wang Sheng expressed that he respected any choice Yi Chu would make and gave him his blessings. However, the Glory Alliance was still a competition, after all. Even though Excellent Era and Yi Chu would always be friends forever, whether they were in the professional scene or the game, everyone should have a professional attitude. Lastly, he gave Excellent Era and Yi Chu his best wishes. Shameless. Too shameless. Excellent Era's spokesperson gave his statement. The esports channel broadcasted this segment. Chen Guo, who was watching while eating dinner, slammed the table and shouted. Yi Chu, who had been sprayed all over with food in the morning, immediately took up his guard. He grabbed his bowl and ran far away from her. I can't believe he had the nerve to say that. Chen Guo was furious at Wang Sheng. Hiding far away, Yi Chu took up his bowl and filled his mouth with food. This is nothing. You really haven't seen the real world, have you? How can you be so calm? Chen Guo didn't understand. In terms of his responsibilities, I felt like he did quite a beautiful job, Yi Chu said. Ptui. If you can't even bear this, you'll be coughing blood in the future, Yi Chu said. HMPH, I won't be so shameless, Chen Guo said. You won't. But what about your opponents? When the time comes, they'll spread all sorts of rumors, mixing up truth and lies. And when the reporters look for you to ask questions, you'll just curse at them and call them shameless, Yi Chu said. Then what should I do? Chen Guo said. Beat them up in the matches, Tang Ru interrupted in a determined voice. Chen Guo looked over, a bit surprised. She immediately realized that Tang Ru wasn't happy about the interview either. She just hadn't slammed the table like her. Counterattack with the truth. No matter how powerful they are, they can't beat that, Yi Chu said. Then how are you going to use truth to counterattack this time? Chen Guo asked. By eating dinner peacefully here, Yi Chu said. What type of counterattack is that? Chen Guo frowned. There's still a long way to go. We've only just started, Yi Chu said dully. That night, the interview created a huge uproar. In these interviews, Lulan/'s team may have been mentioned, but only a relatively small amount. Many had already guessed that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu in the morning news, but now the entire pro scene had admitted it. Even though the pros said this and that, they all had the same meaning. He was Yi Chu, no doubt about it. However, even if you didn't believe the pros, it was too difficult to actually ask Yi Chu because everyone knew that Yi Chu never accepted interviews. The reports were still busy, hoping to dig even deeper. They wanted to find some way to contact people who were close to Yi Chu like Su Mucheng. They tried contacting Lulan/, the interviewing wasn't over yet. As for the Glory community, the discussions going on amongst them were growing larger and larger. All of these discussions made Chen Guo quite depressed. Wang Sheng's statement expressing how he couldn't understand Yi Chu's actions, how he was perplexed, and then his blessings, made Excellent Era fans who didn't know the truth very unhappy with Yi Chu. After being deceived by Wang Sheng's statement, they couldn't that Yi Chu would betray Excellent Era like that. Their cherished memories of Yi Chu all became doubts towards him. These feelings had begun being planted ever since rumors that Yi Chu was planning to create his own team sprouted. And now, Yi Chu had ran over to Lulan/, who was famous in the game for having lots of money. The players couldn't help but suspect that Yi Chu had left for money. At this moment, the discussions online were filled with criticism and hatred for Yi Chu. Chen Guo knew the truth and felt angry and sorry for Yi Chu. She looked at these alone and didn't call over Yi Chu to look up until she couldn't take it anymore. She turned around and peeked at Yi Chu's screen. To her surprise, he wasn't playing the game, but rather skimming over these discussions. Chen Guo quietly went over and stole a glance at Yi Chu's expression. He looked very calm and relaxed. You aren't going to play? Chen Guo asked. Now. It's not a good time. Too much commotion. I should avoid making any appearances for now, Yi Chu said. Avoid for how long? Chen Guo was depressed. Now that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu, Lord Grimm would be like troubling rain and have crowds of people gathering wherever he went. In addition, with so many angry players, Chen Guo suddenly felt extremely uneasy. It won't be very long, Yi Chu grinned. What are you planning? Tell me. Chen Guo could see that Yi Chu definitely had some sort of plan up his sleeve. You'll know soon, Yi Chu said. When is soon? Chen Guo asked. Look at the news, Yi Shu said. News. What news is there going to be at this time? Chen Guo didn't understand. It'll be there, Yi Shu said. Chen Guo went over to browse the internet, but didn't see anything after checking several big sites. Where? Chen Guo yelled, just as she refreshed again. A new pieces of news really had come out. Team Heavenly Swords had officially been announced. Team Heavenly Swords? Chen Guo stared blankly. Even though Lulan Slash had already told them about his team, he hadn't said what his team name was. Heavenly Swords was undoubtedly the team Lulan Slash was planning on creating. Chen Guo immediately clicked on the news article. With everything all written down already, the news conference for it must have ended a while ago. The spokesperson for Heavenly Swords had stated that their application had taken 2 days to pass, which was why they had only conducted a news conference now. At the news conference, they also officially announced that their team name would be Heavenly Swords. Apart from this, another huge announcement had come from Team Heavenly Swords spokesperson. The announcement made clear that Team Heavenly Swords had not recruited the former captain of Excellent Era, Yi Chu. Chen Guo suddenly felt dizzy as she stared at the headline. See, this is the truth, Yi Shu had seen the news too. He stood up and looked at Chen Guo with a smile on his face. That's not a bad counterattack, right? Chapter 453, Unable to Speak. You guys had it all planned beforehand, Chen Guo finally understood. Yi Shu didn't need to explain anything to her. It was true that Lord Grimm had joined Guild Heavenly Justice, but it had never been said that Lord Grimm would join the team. Everyone had only thought that. Now that Team Heavenly Swords made everything clear, Yi Chu was in a great spot. With this sudden turn of events, the players would think that they had made a mistake. They might even think that Lord Grimm wasn't Yi Chu. Pretty much. I was really only there as a guest performer to help Lulan Slash publicize his team, Yi Shu said. Who guest performs like you? The amount of attention you got was even more than their team, Chen Guo said. That's what happens when you borrow someone else. It's how you get everyone's attention, Yi Shu said. His QQ made a noise. Lulan Slash saw that he wasn't in-game, so he went to see if Yi Shu was on QQ. Nice, Yi Shu replied, that was a great press conference. Ha ha ha, too splendid. When those reporters heard that we were going to open a press conference, they immediately gathered there. We prepared the answers to questions relating to you a long time ago. The moment those reporters heard the spokesman say that Yi Chu definitely wasn't joining Team Heavenly Swords, you should have seen the expression on their faces. It was amazing, Lulan Slash said and sent a few pictures of the dumbstruck expressions. They really are amazing, Yi Shu appreciated them. Ha ha ha, Lulan Slash was very happy. Their plan had gone perfectly. There wasn't much else to talk about after saying that. It was clear that the reporters were mainly for that one question. First, they asked a few questions regarding the team out of courtesy and then immediately switched to inquiring about Lord Grimm. The spokesperson repeated his statement again, and for the questions asking about Lord Grimm, he simply replied saying his weapon was a secret and couldn't be revealed to the public. Why did Lulan Slash cooperate with you? Chen Guo wondered. I helped publicize his team. Why wouldn't he cooperate with me? Yi Shu said. But if he used your identity as Yi Chu, he could have gotten even more attention. He could have also pulled in a whole bunch of your fans. No, Chen Guo's reasoning was also logical. Even though most people had been angry at Yi Chu after the previous reports, there were also quite a few who defended Yi Chu. These few were clearly loyal fans of Yi Chu and supported their idol unconditionally. However, I really wasn't going to join them. That's the truth. It would have been seen through sooner or later, Yi Shu said. But with the way they did things, they're also just making everything unnecessarily complicated. Lord Grimm is you. That'll be revealed sooner or later too. Doing it this way won't win much of a favorable impression either, no, Chen Guo said. It's different. The way they did things is simply a trick to hype up everyone. There will be many chances in the future to slowly dissolve the situation. But if they directly said that I had joined their team Heavenly Swords, then they would be lying. Once their lie came out, they would provoke a lot of hate from the players and it wouldn't be easy to dissolve the situation. Lulan Slash wants to be relevant in the alliance for a long time, so he doesn't want that type of stain. Yi Shu said. Oh, Chen Guo acted like she understood, even though she didn't. Today, she hadn't done any fighting in the game, but the several waves of news made her emotions go up and down all day. It was even more of a thrill than fighting. Chen Guo was now convinced that the competition in the pro scene wasn't just as simple as characters fighting in matches. Are you still going to play today? Chen Guo asked. It's better not to for now. I'll be taking a look at the situation after the announcement. Yi Shu said. After the spring festival, Yi Shu's work and rest schedule had been slowly changing to a normal person's. Before, he had to stay up all night because he had to take up the night shift. But now he only had to focus on the game. It didn't matter whether he played during the daytime or during the nighttime. With Chen Guo's frequent shouts, he would probably be heading towards a healthier schedule. The newly released statement naturally lifted another huge wave. The thoughts of the players were about the same as Chen Guo's. All of the news being released today made it so their hearts couldn't take it anymore. They had just thought that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu, when Team Heavenly Swords clearly said that they hadn't roped in Yi Chu. Just like Chen Guo thought, the players immediately felt that Lord Grimm actually wasn't Yi Chu. If Lord Grimm wasn't Yi Chu, then Yi Chu's name didn't need to be brought into the discussion. As a result, Lord Grimm once again became a mystery man. Who exactly was he? Everyone began guessing again. This Lord Grimm beat Huang Shaoshan. He had been acknowledged by the gods, who had unanimously believed that it was likely that he was Yi Chu. But he wasn't actually Yi Chu. There were only so many gods in the scene. From the looks of it, it was actually his first time stepping into the pro scene. Was he some sort of immortal that had just come out of closed-door training? When the clubs saw the reports that night, they were all dumbstruck. These clubs were just like the players and immediately felt like Lord Grimm wasn't Yi Chu. They were suddenly very upset. If he wasn't Yi Chu, then why didn't they try and rope him in? Who told them that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu? Had the pro players made a mistake? After all, no one had personally witnessed Yi Chu controlling Lord Grimm. Some were completely certain though. For example, Huang Shaoshan, Lu Hao, Han Wenqing, Wang Jiaxi. All of them had talked with Lord Grimm and Yi Chu directly and were 100% sure about this point. They were having a bit of trouble understanding after seeing Team Heavenly Swords press conference. I can't believe he has the balls to lie like that. Huang Shaoshan was dumbstruck and was about to look for Yi Shu to ask. Yu Wenzhou quietly thought for a bit before saying, maybe it's not a lie. How could it not be? Lord Grimm is obviously Yi Chu. Wait a sec. Huang Shaoshan looked more carefully at the statement and then immediately understood. See, Heavenly Swords people never said that Lord Grimm isn't Yi Chu, Yu Wenzhou said. You're right. Huang Shaoshan recalled Team Heavenly Swords marketing from the beginning to end. From the very start, when the news came out that Lord Grimm had joined Heavenly Justice, they had never put Lord Grimm and Yi Chu together. What a beautiful plan to create hype, Yu Wenzhou said. If it's just for hype, wouldn't it be better to reveal Yi Chu's identity? Huang Shaoshan said. Didn't you hear the official statement? Yi Chu isn't joining their Team Heavenly Sword, Yu Wenzhou said. Oh. The team and the guild in the game are two different things, Yu Wenzhou said. How crafty, Huang Shaoshan said. Unless you're absolutely sure that Lord Grimm is Yi Chu like us, I doubt many will be able to see through the scheme, Yu Wenzhou said. But we can't prove anything either, Huang Shaoshan said. We don't need any proof, Yu Wenzhou said. The people who are having it the most difficult right now is probably Excellent Era. It was lucky they made that statement this afternoon. Ha ha ha, it'll be a bit difficult, but they didn't lose anything. They made it clear that even if Lord Grimm is Yi Chu, they would still have a professional attitude, which pretty much means that they regard him first as a competitor and opponent. They will do what they need to do. Even if their opponent isn't Yi Chu, they can still do what they like. Even if it had made clear in the future, it doesn't matter, no, Huang Shaoshan said. That's certainly true, but their goal was to create an unfavorable public opinion of Yi Chu. This statement effectively neutralized this, Yu Wenzhou said. A pity. They probably can't prove that Lord Grimm is Yi Chu either, Huang Shaoshan said. Yu Wenzhou and Huang Shaoshan had already analyzed Excellent Era's situation well. On the other hand, Excellent Era themselves didn't react as quickly as the two of them. They had confirmed that Lord Grimm is Yi Chu. After seeing the news, they were extremely angry at the scheme set up by Team Heavenly Sword and Yi Chu and had completely forgotten about their statement that afternoon. After a lot of yelling, Wang Sheng was able to clearly see the word game being played around in these statements. However, just like Yu Wenzhou and Huang Shaoshan predicted, there was nothing they could do. They couldn't prove that Lord Grimm is Yi Chu. After thinking about it for a bit, exposing their opponent's plot and proving that Lord Grimm is Yi Chu wouldn't really benefit them in any way. Team Heavenly Sword had attracted a huge amount of attention from this. If they jumped out and struck back during this hype, they wouldn't interrupt it, but instead help them even more. Even though Excellent Era could attract a lot of eyes this way too, but Excellent Era was an old established team. If they were going to hype things up, they would have to fight with someone of equal status as them. Picking a fight against a new team would make them drop in status. The other side would actually pull themselves up using Excellent Era's drop instead. If Excellent Era wasn't even able to see this, then there was no way they would have been able to stay in the alliance for so many years. In the end, Excellent Era could only grind their teeth and hold it in. Seeing the forums explode with guests to this mystery man while not being able to speak the truth was truly quite painful. We can't give them another opportunity to attract more attention. Picking a fight would be falling into their trap, Wang Sheng said. But we can't have them think we're idiots. Make another statement, reinforcing our previous statement and that it still holds. The director slapped the table. Chapter 454, to make a big fuss over nothing. For this type of disturbance, each side had their own plans. They all had people within the circle, so they knew many inside things. However, Chen Guo wasn't a part of the circle. This time, she got a taste of what it was like inside. If this was in the past, she would have definitely jumped out and shouted her support for Yi Shu, but now, she finally understood the background behind the dispute and the many schemes surrounding it. Fans would dispute to prove what they thought. Would the people being talked about actually care what they said? They might not. Yi Shu's indifferent attitude made Chen Guo even feel as if it were a bit cold-hearted. She wondered how many pro players had this type of inner quality. However, Chen Guo did believe that slamming the table in anger because of this kind of small matter didn't fit for someone within the circle. Chen Guo acknowledged that this type of ruthlessness and reasoning was needed, but she wasn't sure if she would be able to learn it. She hoped that there would be a day Excellent Era would be unmasked and hated how Excellent Era fans could completely change sides in a single night. Their false statement had struck a direct blow to Yi Shu, but all Chen Guo could see from him was indifference. Even the hype created from the collaboration between Lulan and him seemed as if it had just been done out of convenience, while giving himself a path to retreat at the same time. Did he actually plan on using this type of disturbance to attack Excellent Era or someone else? No, not at all. In reality, those who thought that they had suffered a blow had really just been caught up in the storm. They thought they were the goal, when they actually weren't. All Yi Shu did was take advantage of what he had to help Lulan / create some hype for his team. What about you? What did you gain from this? Chen Guo asked. Me? Yi Shu said without taking any time to think, didn't I already say this before? The more attention Lulan/'s guild gets and the more attention Lord Grimm gets, the harder it is for the guilds to make any movements. Chen Guo suddenly felt dizzy. So you're saying, this was all just to continue leveling in peace? Of course, Yi Shu nodded his head. Chen Guo wanted to cry. This type of leveling environment was a given for a normal player. But for a god, why did it have to be so complicated? He led the entire glory scene into a frenzy, forcing all 20 clubs to make a move. Millions of players had crowded together discussing and arguing. The media platforms made several headlines in a row. Comrades, it was all just a big misunderstanding. The truth behind everything was that this god just wanted to level. Chen Guo didn't want to be the only person to know the truth. She wanted to share it with the world and wanted everyone to cry along with her. I'm going to bed. Chen Guo swayed back and forth as she walked away. Go ahead. I'll be going to sleep soon too, Yi Shu said as if nothing had happened. Who cares about you? Chen Guo repeatedly said to herself. At this moment, she suddenly felt that the clubs were completely correct to hunt him down. He just wanted to level peacefully, and in order to do that, he brought the world into chaos. What was this guy made of? That night, Yi Shu didn't go online again. He browsed around the internet and then went to bed. The next morning, a few slower news platforms released some articles. Being a bit slow, they had more time to report everything in more detail. However, Chen Guo wasn't interested in reading them. Once she thought of how much trouble this could bring to Happy Internet Cafe just for Yi Shu to level, Chen Guo immediately felt weak. Are you going to level later you finish eating? Chen Guo said. She stressed the word level with a bit of a mocking tone. Of course, Yi Shu spoke as if he hadn't heard Chen Guo's tone of voice. Will a crowd come to watch? Chen Guo asked. Hard to say, though if it's just normal players, then I'm confident I can escape, Yi Shu said. I hope you succeed, Chen Guo mocked. Thanks. You guys take your time. Yi Shu got up and went to the second floor to play. What's wrong? Tang Ru could hear that Chen Guo's tone wasn't right. Did you know? Chen Guo said everything on her mind to share her pain and then cursed at him a whole bunch. Ha 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 ha, Tang Ru couldn't stop laughing when she heard it. I think he did pretty good. What's good? Chen Guo said. Don't you find it bold making such a big fuss over nothing? Tang Ru said. You've been completely ruined by him. Chen Guo shook her head in disappointment. Tang Ru chuckled. Chen Guo couldn't find any sympathy from Tang Ru, so she stopped talking about it. Chen Guo didn't take it to heart. This wouldn't stop this disturbance from ending. In reality, the great debate brought about by this had only just begun. That morning, reporters contacted Excellent Era asking about their thoughts on Team Heavenly Swords denying that Yi Chu had joined their team. Excellent Era had already been prepared. They didn't try to prove that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu, and instead, they expressed calmly that it didn't matter if Yi Chu joined Team Heavenly Swords or not. No matter what he planned for in the future, Excellent Era would give him their blessings, but would also face him with a professional attitude. As for Heavenly Swords, Excellent Era congratulated them for their success in making it into the alliance and wished them good luck in the future. When asked about their thoughts on Lord Grimm, who was able to defeat Huang Shaoshan, Excellent Era answered that they weren't scared of any opponent. They didn't mention Heavenly Swords and declared that they would definitely make a comeback next season to win the championship. These sort of words and replies were commonly seen. Apart from this, their words also implied that they didn't find the new team as a threat and didn't put them in their eyes. Besides Excellent Era, the pro players who affirmed that Lord Grimm was Yi Chu were given another round of interviews. These pro players had all seen Yi Shu speak in the group chat and then followed into the game to find Lord Grimm, so they had been very certain of his identity. However, Team Heavenly Swords declared that Yi Chu hadn't joined them. They caught the wordplay involved in these statements, but none of them jumped out to prove Lord Grimm was Yi Chu because for the clubs, such an action wouldn't help them in any way. As a result, everyone just went with the flow. Heavenly Swords could do what they wanted. They weren't going to get mixed up with them. So as to avoid what happened last time, they sent out their iconic players to act as live promotional signboards. Some players ran over to look at Heavenly Justice players. After the news came out, Team Heavenly Swords was looked at exceptionally well by many. Some of the more exaggerated analysis claimed that with Heavenly Swords' strength and resources, they would definitely make a huge impact in the alliance and might even win the entire championship as the dark horse. These discussions made the other clubs a bit scared. However, they had seen their strength after their fights with Huang Shaoshan. All of the pro players at the scene had a good estimate of their skill levels and didn't see them as a threat. The reports downplayed one part though. Heavenly Swords' introduction to scene had cost quite a bit. As for the mystery man who beat Huang Shaoshan, everyone knew he was Yi Chu. Team Heavenly Swords said that Yichu hadn't joined their team, which was quite a weird roundabout way of saying things. After the discussions, Yichu couldn't formally join now because of his recent retirement, so of course he couldn't join. But the two sides could have made an agreement for him to join next season. This was a guess that the clubs had agreed upon as a possibility. However, all of them simply acted as if they didn't know this. They laughed over the interviews and didn't say too much. There was only one pro player who said things different than the rest, Tyranny's Han Wenking. Facing the reporter's questions, he coldly threw down, "Did Heavenly Swords ever say Lord Grimm wasn't Yichu? Who else could Lord Grimm be but Yichu?" That day, the interviewed players from all of the different clubs all replied with similar words. Han Wenking's reply immediately stood out. Everyone else's interviews were suddenly thrown to the side and only this reply was reported. In reality, Team Heavenly Sword's little wordplay may have tricked most players, but the media reporters were good at these types of tricks and were aware of it long ago. They had already prepared for it. Now that a pro player directly said it, it was as if they had obtained a treasure. As for the interviews towards Heavenly Swords, they refused to reveal Lord Grimm's identity. Lord Grimm being Yichu instantly became very believable, so the club's analysis of an agreement and then joining in the future had also been analyzed by the media and reported out. The credibility of such a statement was extremely high. Lord Grimm had went in a huge circle. In the end, he was still Yichu. Quite a few fans treated the entire course of events as a drama novel. The media wasn't done yet though. They obtained views from a few reporters, commentators, and normal players. The view that he would come out of retirement and join became widely accepted. Everyone unanimously believed that Lord Grimm was Yichu and had determined him as a part of Heavenly Swords. They were convinced that Heavenly Swords was just saying all of that to make things unnecessarily complicated. Chen Guo said she didn't care, but in the end, she couldn't help but read the reports. The results made her feel dizzy, everything just went around full circle. Why'd it return to this? The topic stays hot. The media likes it. Heavenly Swords likes it too, Yichu said. It looks like your identity has been seen through, Chen Guo said. It would have happened sooner or later, Yichu seemed as if he didn't care. Why does Heavenly Sword refuse to say it? Did you ask them to? Chen Guo asked. They only know that I won't join them, so it's better to not say it. You think about it, Yichu said. Think about what? Just say it, Chen Guo said. I'm busy. Boss, Yichu called. What? Chen Guo flew over when she heard this. Chapter 455, Scrap Picker. Boss. This was a word that would make any Glory player's heart leap. Moreover, this was the heavenly domain. A heavenly domain boss was on another realm compared to one in the normal server. Chen Guo also knew that Yichu could only level in the wild, which meant that this was a wild boss. The heavenly domain was similar to the normal servers in this sense. Wild bosses would randomly spawn someplace every week. But the difference was that wild bosses would only spawn once a week, which meant that every wild boss would spawn a maximum of 52 times a year. The unique equipment and material dropped from this type of boss would undoubtedly be rare and precious. The top guilds naturally watched for these types of bosses with great attention. At the start of every week, in all of the level 55 to level 70 areas, the top guilds would dispatch scouts to wander around randomly 24/7. At the same time, they also bought information on the boss's coordinates from players who didn't have the strength to kill one but had found one. Every time a wild boss spawned, it was likely a huge war would erupt. Lower-leveled bosses were a bit better. Normal players had a chance to snatch one. After all, apart from Yichu's Lord Grimm, everyone else in the heavenly domain was level 70, so they had a high-level suppression. In addition, even if they weren't experts, they were all experienced players. Killing a low-leveled boss with friends wasn't too difficult. As for high-leveled bosses, those would always fall into one of the top guilds' hands. One reason is because high-level bosses spawn in high-level areas. With everyone in the heavenly domain being level 70 players, most of them played in high-level areas. High-level areas weren't as empty as the level 55 area Lord Grimm was in. As a result, if a boss spawned in a high-level area, many players would notice it and there was no opportunity to hide it and kill it. The second reason was because high-level bosses were strong. No matter who fought them, they wouldn't be easy to kill. The longer it took for one to die, the more likely the chance someone could run over to steal it. The only ones who could fight to the end with such risks were those with strength. Thus, for high-level bosses, normal players wouldn't dream of snatching one. But level 55 bosses had more hope. What type of boss? Chen Guo rushed over to Yishu's computer while asking. Her eyes were already fixed on his screen. Yishu's line of sight only exposed half the screen. Something was clearly blocking the other half. From the exposed half a screen, numerous players battling a single boss could be seen. This one is Wilderness Escort. How could one appear here? Chen Guo didn't ask about Yishu's blocked line of sight and first identified the boss. The Wilderness Escort wore a large felt cap, a pair of leather boots, a corset. His tanned face gave the look of a rough and uncouth male. He was the level 65 Wilderness Escort of the Eastern Wilderness. However, this place was the level 55 Chalk Town. The wild boss here should be the evil Mayor Chalk. He was clearly summoned here, Yishu said. Oh, Chen Guo immediately understood. As the number of players in the heavenly domain increased, a wild boss spawning once a week wasn't enough to satisfy everyone's appetite. Many players who had played for several years hadn't even seen a wild boss yet. As a result, in one update, Glory released a boss summon. As rewards for some quests or for killing a boss, there was a chance to obtain an item to summon a boss. This item could be used at any time and any place outside of a dungeon in the heavenly domain. As the name implies, the item summoned a boss for everyone to kill. This type of item was equivalent to a boss, so it was obviously rare as well. Apart from this, these items couldn't be traded. As a result, when players who didn't have the strength to kill the boss happened to obtain this item, they would find a way to contact the top guilds. The player would summon the boss, the guild would kill it, and it could be considered as selling a boss. The price for selling a boss would obviously be much greater than selling information on a boss's coordinates. With this item, one could find a place with no one around and then kill it in secret. The people in front of them right now were clearly trying to kill it in secret. Level 55 areas were without a doubt the most empty places in the heavenly domain. They were currently located in the corner of a chalk town. If one didn't wander deep into the town, there was no way they would find this place. Coincidentally, Yishu wanted to find a place to level with no one around, so he chose Chalk Town. After wandering around, he happened to bump into this place. The Wilderness Escort was a gunner, though as a boss, it wasn't any particular class. If you did, you would definitely suffer. If you thought it was a sharpshooter, he might just send you a Spitfire skill. What are you doing? Are you going to try and steal it? Chen Guo noticed that Yishu's movements were a bit strange. He only half his screen looking at the situation, which meant he must be hiding behind a window in some room. That would be too lacking in principles, Yishu said. I'm going to pick up scraps. Don't you feel ashamed? Chen Guo heard this and almost fell over. Picking up scraps was a term used in the heavenly domain because the heavenly domain players had a high chance of dropping items when they died. Thus, in a large-scale conflict, there would always be players who would do this. They would wear cheap equipment and charge into the battle without any fear. However, don't make this misunderstanding, these players weren't a suicide squad to attract attacks. Their target was the equipment that dropped when players died. This type of activity was called picking up scraps, while the players who did this were called scrap pickers. Scrap pickers were hated by others, and if one appeared next to them, they wouldn't hesitate to kill them. A boss fight was a prime opportunity for scrap pickers. There would always be casualties against a boss. But what type of person was Yishu? He was a god. Right now, he was camping in a corner waiting to pick up scraps. Such shameful behavior made Chen Guo give him a good scolding. Shish, Yishu actually turned his head and reminded Chen Guo that she was being too loud. Do you want to come too? Yishu whispered. Chen Guo hesitated. In reality, she didn't mind picking up scraps when she had the chance to. The only thing she couldn't accept was that a god like Yishu would do such a task. After all, he used to be her idol once too. Her image of him being shattered was very painful for the fans. What can you pick up from this? After hesitating for a bit, she still went to sat next to Yi Shu. She opened up the game, while telling Tang Ru, "Little Tang, help me log out." Room 213's 4 computers were arranged with 2 rows back to back. Chen Guo and Tang Ru had been sitting next to each other. Chen Guo wanted to pick up scraps with Yi Shu, so Chen Guo was going to switch spots to make it easy to communicate with each other. They've probably made preparations for this type of summoning. Have there been any accidents? Chen Guo continued. Hard to say. I've been watching them for a while and they might not make it, Yi Shu said. Can you be even more shameful? Chen Guo was depressed. Sigh. If only my level wasn't so low. I could wait for them to wipe out and then pick up the boss too, Yi Shu sighed. You can't kill it? Chen Guo asked. It's a heavenly domain wild boss that's 14 levels higher than me. No matter how good I am, there's still a limit, Yi Shu said. What a pity, Chen Guo muttered. She had logged into the game on this side. She looked at Yi Shu's screen for his coordinates and then immediately headed over there. Do you want to contact Lulan / Chen Guo suggested. In the heavenly domain, stealing a boss wasn't looked down upon as much as stealing monsters. Even though there were fewer bosses, that was exactly why people were fine with it. Under normal circumstances, sitting on the side watching others fight without attacking them was already considered quite nice. If you couldn't kill it, who cares if you saw it first or summoned it? It was time for other people to try. Most directly stole it away. Usually the club guilds were the ones who were nice. The clubs had to care about their image. Even though stealing bosses wasn't considered as anything bad in the heavenly domain, for the club guilds, it would be bully. Even though they had strength, when they encountered normal players, they had to let them try first. It was quite depressing for them actually. There was only on the surface though. Underneath, there would definitely be something going on. If they didn't, then why would the club guilds go through so much trouble to make so many wild accounts? I was thinking that too, but they're not online, Yi Shu sighed. Chen Guo had just gotten online. When she looked at her friends list, she also saw that Lulan / and his group wasn't there. As for Chen Guo's original friends, they were all from Excellent Dynasty. The group of people sent over would be from Guild Excellent Dynasty, so they were a no-go. If you use my account, can you kill it? Chen Guo asked. Solo, the problem is time. This isn't like the 10th server, where no one goes to the high-leveled areas. Killing the boss would need 3 hours without anyone noticing. That isn't very likely, Yi Shu said. Chen Guo was helpless. That wasn't a possibility. Let alone others, but the team in from them would definitely come back if they wiped out. Is picking scraps the only thing we can do? Chen Guo wasn't happy. Yi Shu hesitated. What are you thinking? Chen Guo could see that he had some sort of plan. From a scrap picker's perspective, Yi Shu had only finished halfway, when a message was sent in the global chat, Chalk Town, coordinates 4574, a wilderness escort. Wow! Who did this? Yi Shu shouted. He was just about to say what I wanted to. This is something a professional scrap picker would do. Chen Guo saw a string of emojis appear after the message on the global chat. She was speechless. She could imagine that a storm would erupt soon. When this message appeared on the global chat, the team killing the boss went into chaos. 2 rays of white light shot out as 2 players perished.